So, welcome back to another episode of Access Granted. I am delighted to have the very handsome Sam Clover on the sofa today. Sam, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Josh.
It's nice to be here. Worst places to be on a Thursday, right?
Absolutely, mate. Yeah, no, I appreciate this. It's lovely.
And this ain't too far from home from you.
No, office is about 10 minutes away. Home is 20 minutes away, so perfect. I don't even have to travel far.
Nice, you even beat me here.
That's it. Yeah, easy.
So why don't we start off with your story? I think that's probably a good thing for the audience. So, who's Sam Clover? Where was he born? How did he end up on a Sunseeker today?
I was born in a hospital that doesn't exist anymore, so Boscombe Hospital. Always lived around Christchurch area. Now live in Southbourne. Yeah, I loved the area. I went away for a little while in the army for about 8 years, which I enjoyed. Travelled a little bit of the world, not in a nice way, but I travelled it. And left the army and started the business.
So you're a young man. So how long ago was this? When were you born? This hospital that's no longer around?
Oh, okay. I was born in 1986, so I'm at the very young age of 36 at the minute.
Nice, looking great for 36.
Thanks very
I think
much.
it's that skincare routine of yours,
Absolutely.
isn't it?
It's essential to keep a young-looking face like this.
We might get into that later on when we get on to personal stuff. But
I hope so.
So 36, then you mentioned went into the army. So when did you go into the army? What age were you then?
I was 19 when I started basic training.
Okay. What spurred that on?
I wasn't very good at school or college, to be honest with you.
What, not turning up?
Yeah, well, they politely asked me to leave Brockenhouse College.
Politely?
Yeah. Well, basically sent me a letter and said, please don't come back. I just wasn't an academic at all. I struggled with my maths, my English, everything you could imagine. And then, so I thought, right, well, let's go and have a go at the army. And then, funny enough, they put me into a mechanics course, which was physics. So it made absolutely no sense, but I had a go and it succeeded in it, got my qualifications. Served for about 7 years, going all over Europe and everything like that, really. Good things, skiing, adventure training and everything like that. Went over to Canada on exercise. But to be honest, the ultimate dream, and I think it's everyone's dream when you join the army, is to go off and serve on a tour. So I went out to Herik 10, Afghanistan.
Okay, how old were you then?
21, 22.
It's quite a young age, isn't it?
Yeah.
Going out to battle. Were you nervous?
Yeah, of course. I think everyone is. I think you'd be lying if you weren't. But I was probably one of the lucky ones because I served in a warrior tank because my driver was my job was a driver.
Of a tank?
Of a warrior tank. So yeah, I was a mechanic on that. Yeah, no, it's something I just really wanted to do, especially when I first joined up. I was hungry to get out there and experience it. Went into a place called PB Minden, which was quite close to Taliban Junction, so I hung around there for about 4 months doing operations before coming home on my R&R for 2 weeks, and then went back again for another 3 months. And then after I sort of done that tour, to be honest with you, I just sort of felt like I'd done it. And I didn't feel like doing it again.
No, I can imagine there must have been some really hairy moments out there, right?
Yeah. It was. Funny enough, you get used to it. And like I said, I was very lucky with having a lot of metal around me to protect me. Definitely some of the foot soldiers, I look at them and I think, wow, what they done out there was incredible. Especially when you look at the Marines, the powers and everything like that. But so I was lucky, but I did experience a lot out there, which I'm thankful for. And obviously more thankful that I come home.
Yeah, right. What did the army teach you, like as a young man?
It taught me structure. It definitely disciplined me. I wasn't a bad lad when I was younger, nowhere near it. But I think it helped speed up the respect for ranks, authority, and I think everyone needs to have that in their life.
Out of curiosity, what sort of stuff are they like teaching you in that training period to kind of instill those habits in you? Like what would be a typical day or?
Mainly discipline and conformity, teamwork. Yeah, really, really important. Kind of thing. How to look after yourself as well. Just basics.
Like what, washing yourself?
Yeah. I mean, the thing I remember the most was when I the first week of being in the army. Remember they got us all into the shower room, and one of the corporals literally stripped down and showing us how to wash his nuts. So we would use it and how to shave and everything like that. And you're like, bloody hell, this is extreme. I was 19, so I was thankfully of an age where I knew how to wash my nuts. But you'd be surprised. I was like, young lads there, you know,
Yeah.
who needed to
What was like the? That's interesting.
learn
What
how
was
to wash their nuts.
good education. Let's get him in. Just make sure basic hygiene's looked after. So, what was the camaraderie like from an outside perspective looking in? I think being a part of the army where you're kind of with brothers in arms and going into battle, and it must be the team ethic, just the relationships must be, I'd imagine, like really great.
Yeah, I mean, it was great. Yeah, I had some great friends in the army. I still have some great friends who are still in the army and not in the army. I mean, I always found it depended where you went. I mean, I was in the REME, so I served with 2 Battalion Royal Welsh Armoured Infantry, and I always found that their infantry battalion all stayed together throughout their career. Where I was in the REME, I was attached, so I'd go to different battalions, different regiments all the time. So you'd sort of have to turn up and sort of find your way through it. But it was always very welcoming, and everyone would protect everyone. I've got nothing bad to say about the camaraderie.
When you look back at your time in the army, what would be your favourite story? Or your fondest memory?
Coming home, and probably, like I always say, the 2 best things I'd done in the army was join the army and leave the army. Because I left the army and I never looked back, and obviously going from there, marrying my wife, having my little girl Maya, it was just everything worked out really well for me.
Nice. Were they waiting at home for you, or did you meet them when you left the army?
Well, funny enough, Maya wasn't born, so I didn't meet her. Kay, funny enough, on my R&R, halfway through my tour.
What's R&R being?
Rest and recuperation. So you come home for 2 weeks. In the middle or roundabouts, whenever they tell you you're going home for 2 weeks for a rest. I met Kay during that 2-week period, and then I went away for another 3 months. She went away, and then about 6 months to a year later, don't quote me on these dates, just in case she hears it.
She's definitely going to hear this. I'm going to send it to her.
Cheers, mate. We got back together, and we pushed forward, and we were together at a very young age. So I was 16 and Kay was 15 when we were first together, and then we split up for a few years, travelled the world, shall we say, and then got back together and ended up getting married, and we're happily married now 10 years this year. So
what's the secret 10-year marriage? Give me some advice. I'm not married yet, but I'm engaged, so I'm going.
Well, she's incredibly lucky. I mean, she'll admit this, I'm sure. I mean, what is the secret? I really don't know. Me and Kay just work. We're incredibly happy, always have been. And Maya coming along was a great addition to our family. Just respect each other when you have an argument. Argue and just give it up. Let her win, basically.
Okay, nice. How old's your daughter?
She's 6 now.
Okay, congrats.
Yeah, she's 6 in November.
Enjoy being a dad?
Love it. Wouldn't change anything. She is absolutely brilliant. A great age as well.
Yeah, nice. You had a good Christmas. I guess she's right in that age for Christmas, like enjoying it and stuff.
Yeah. Christmas is a bit of a difficult one. We ended up going away. Well, as you know, we went away for Christmas to the Dominican Republic, which should have been the perfect Christmas. Unfortunately, we were all incredibly ill. And it was a bloody disaster. But we got through it. We're back. Yeah, it was nice. The time we had when we were all well was great. Okay,
cool. So, right, doing the army training, great hygiene you were taught there and discipline. So moving on to the business. How did the business journey start for you? So I'll tell you what, before we do that, let's start with Marisco now. That's obviously the company that you're the founder of. Just talk us a bit about Marisco and what Marisco do, how big the company is, and then we'll start with, I guess, the origin story.
Yeah, well, Marisco now, we're a full-on construction company, really. We deal mostly with social housing landlords, so local councils, housing associations, maintaining their properties and sort of refurbing their properties back to a lettable standard once the tenants move out. Sort of pushed on a little bit now regarding electrical, plumbing and gas. We've managed to move in on some new build developments for some local developers. And now we're pushing, which is now a separate business for the electrical side, which is doing really well. Just setting up renewable installations, which car charging points we're already doing, but we're going to start hitting the solar side of things quite heavy as well. Just going through our accreditations now.
Nice.
So yeah, that's where we are.
How big's the business roughly in terms of people? How many guys you got on?
I'll be honest with you, where it all is at the minute, it keeps going up and down. We're recruiting again now. We dropped down. We were at about 80, dropped down to 70. Now we need to get to 80 again. I mean, people over COVID, natural loss of employees. It happens. But yeah, we've always been really good at holding our staff, so we're looking at getting back up to the 80 mark.
Yeah, 80 is a lot of mouths to feed, right? A lot of people to be responsible for. But so how long's the business been going? When did you set up?
We are 11 or 12 years old. 12 years old this year.
Okay, nice one. And so where did it all come from then? How did it come about?
So,
come out of the army?
Yeah. No, I set it up while I was in the army.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was signed off. About 6 months went in, and my dad was a painter and decorator. And we were walking down the high street, and he goes, "What are you gonna do? You signed off. What are you gonna do?" And I was like, "You know what? I haven't got a bloody clue." And he goes, "Let's walking past the accounts office." He goes, "Well, should we set up a business, 50-50? I've got this contract in Oxford where we're going to start painting some windows. Do you want to have a go? You need to earn some money." I was like, "All right, yeah, brilliant. Set up Marisco." Well, we were discussing, right, okay, what we're going to call the business. And we looked back through the family history, and we decided with Marisco because my dad's mum's maiden name is Maris. And basically, they split from the Coes back in like the 1800s, and they used to occupy the Isle of Lundy off the Bristol Channel. And they're basically Irish pirates. They were really horrible people, and they killed some king. I said, "What a great idea! Let's call it Marisco." We went from there, and then we started painting a few crappy old council bathrooms, and I just painted them really quickly, really well. And then just grew, and then they said, "Look, okay, it's going well. Do you want to introduce some more trades?" And the council housing stock started growing, and so therefore they started asking us if we could help them a little bit more with their growing housing stock. We're like, "Yeah, okay, let's have a go." So we went to about 8 to 10 people fairly quickly, based on a subcontractor model, which was great but frustrating because obviously using subcontractors, they get a better screw somewhere else that they're going to go and take it. So we started employing people for reliability and started committing to them, and I really enjoyed that.
Well, they enjoyed the growth or the recruiting people?
Both. I enjoyed seeing the company was growing quite quick. So 5 years went past, and me and my dad amicably split the business. He wanted to stay in Plymouth, and I started seeing a lot of people come up through the ranks, and it sort of took me back to what I enjoyed in the army. I liked promotion, I liked seeing people progress, and I started seeing people do that within Marisco. So yeah, I really enjoyed it, and it just grew from there, and 10 become 20, and
now up to 80.
Yeah.
What's the plans for the future? Where do you see your journey taking you? You got a vision, or are you just seeing how it goes?
No, I mean, COVID's taught me you've got to look after your existing clients, probably more than what you've got to look for new ones for. But we do want to expand on our social housing side. We're very good at that. It's a very strong part of our business. But at the same time, I'm ultimately setting up a business where we can build houses in-house. So we've got the staff in-house to build them. So we cover near enough every trade. And obviously now, hence why we're going renewable, because that's going to be a big part of the new build side of things. So yeah, I want to start building houses basically when everything calms down a little bit and the time's right.
That's really exciting. And do you love being a business owner?
Yeah, love it. It has its difficulties, but
okay.
You know what?
So let's start with what do you love about it? What kind of gets you up in the morning? You get up early as well, don't you?
Yeah, I like to get to the office, especially at the minute, about 5:30, 6. I get most of my work done by probably 9 o'clock, and then I can sort of jump in and help or do anything, or go and speak to clients, go and make sure everything's running right. I've got a great management team behind me, which allows me to do that as well. So yeah, it's great. What do I love?
Because you're obviously driven,
Yeah.
You're driven, right? To go and build a company and, do it for 12 years and be successful and grow it to the size you have, and have the ambition to go and build houses and stuff. Like, where do you derive your motivation from?
The growth itself. I mean, I love every time something happens, every time a new contract comes along, and everyone says, "Oh, you own your business, so you can do what you want when you want." That is rubbish. it's an addiction, you know, and I love it. It's a healthy addiction, you know. I love the growth. It's always nice when you see money coming through. It is nice to be in control of my own job, and I know that if something goes wrong, I'm to blame. So I have to put it right, you know. So
do you feel like the army was a good education for a business owner?
absolutely, yeah, definitely. It teaches you discipline, and it focuses you. You have to complete something to be able to push forward. And yeah, I don't think, if I'm honest, I don't think I'd be in this position if I didn't have the military background I've got. But again, my management team, I've got other directors involved as well now, which I have been incredibly lucky with recruitment and bringing people on board. They've supported me now. And
nice. So if you're getting up that early and getting into the office, you must be an early bird in terms of going to bed, are you?
Well, after my strict fitness regime,
yeah,
I go to bed early. Yeah, I there's not a lot.
I only
of time.
asked that because do you think like sleep? Obviously, sleep's important. Yeah. Like you get enough, you know.
I need my 8 hours.
Okay.
If I don't have my 8 hours, I'm in a pickle.
Fair play.
Yeah.
So outside of work, what do you enjoy doing? You just mentioned fitness routines.
Yeah, love spending time with the family. Of course, we've got a nice little VW camper, so we try and get away with that as much as we can. I'm quite a good golfer. Win quite a lot of competitions, so I like to play golf.
Questionable. I'm just going to let that slide there. You're fantastic.
Oh, do you have to tell the truth?
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you're a fantastic golfer.
Thanks, Josh. I've recently taken that over the last couple of years. I am enjoying it.
Good. Like when you look back at your business journey, let's just stay with business for a moment. Biggest lesson you've learned?
Don't grow too quickly. Is probably the one I've learned, especially in construction. I mean, we've tried to do it organically. We don't like to. I've nothing against it. We might have to do it one day, but we've not gone to the banks. We've not borrowed a lot of money or anything like that. So I'd like to do it organically. But I think probably about 5-6 years ago, when we had a contract in Plymouth, we were okay, but we were in danger of growing a little bit too quickly, and took my eye off the ball. What was going on with BC, with the Bournemouth area, so quickly corrected that and come back. Okay. Growth. I mean, healthy growth is great, and you can do it all in good time.
You got a standout moment from your business career today?
What, apart from sitting here with you on a podcast?
Yeah, that's the right answer. Let's just move on from that.
No, that was a joke. No, you know what? Genuinely, I've enjoyed, again, just the growth and being able to enjoy it with my family. I don't think there's much more you can. There's loads of standout things. I mean, I love the times we've gone away and things like that. And but yeah, ultimately as well, it's nothing better than having a good atmosphere in the office, because it does go up and down. But when everyone's buzzing in the office and we're hitting targets and everything like that, every time that happens, it's a standout moment.
Where do you spend most of your time now then on a day-to-day basis?
I've always said I was going to try and work from home. I do sometimes in the afternoons now, but it doesn't work for me. I like to be in amongst it. So yeah, at the office. So yeah, we've got an office over at Mannings Heath.
Are you like deep in operations or?
Probably, yeah. My ops manager will probably agree with me. Actually, probably deeper than what I should be. Because I think that's probably one of my downfalls, is that I do tend to get tangled into a bit too much, and it's my own fault really. No one really throws too much at me. I just tend to get involved. I like to. It's my business. It's something I've grown. So yeah, but yeah, mainly the office.
Okay, fair. Do you think you want to get your family, well, your daughter? Do you think she'll come into the business one day, or is that?
No.
Don't want that. Don't want that at all.
I think, well, if she wanted to, of course, I'd welcome her with open arms if that's the path she wanted to go, and I could help her do it. But I think she'll want to find her own way, and I respect that. What's
on Sam Clover's bucket list? Things you haven't done in your life that you'd like to do. Obviously, business-wise, we're going to be building houses. That's cool. Yeah. But yeah, anything on your bucket list you'd like to be doing in the future?
Yeah, I'd like to do more travelling. So I've travelled some nice places and some really crap places. So I think I'd want to try and get. I'm always quite jealous of the fact that my wife's been to Australia and travelled that. I'd like to have a go on that, New Zealand and all around that side of the world. So that I would say that's definitely on my list.
Okay, nice. Thinking next, what's on your mind at the moment? What's keeping you up at night? Apart from this podcast, this is the first time you've done like a talk on on a podcast or on a radio show or been interviewed. Which that surprises me.
Really, is it going well?
I think so.
Yeah, good.
So what's keeping you up at night at the moment? It's going to be a bit of therapy now.
January, I hate January for the business. I mean, December always hits really well, and I think it's even harder this year for nearly every business, is the fact that nobody knows where or when to spend their money, and that goes for everything, including social housing budgets, personal budgets, in respect to mortgages and utility bills and everything like that going on. So, we're having to be careful. I mean, and I think at the minute it's just about staying stable, maintaining where we are and staying comfortable, because, it's just I think we're in for a difficult year. And I think
that's your outlook.
I think, just look after what you've got at the minute, and if something comes along, brilliant, but it's pretty much it. I mean, there's a lot of things to consider there this year.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. I think the outlook is people are definitely anxious, right? Cost of living, inflation, wages going up. Really hard to recruit the right types of people, so you have to really be on your A game.
Yeah, and that's the same for business. That's not just personal, and there's nothing worse, is there, when I understand that every individual is affecting individuals. It's affecting me, everyone, but it's also affecting the business. So you've got to be really careful on how you pass that along and make sure that financially it's viable.
Yeah. How do you manage stress? Manage it well? Like, what's your outlook? 'Cause, again, just, the outlook, being a business owner, right? A lot of pressures, a lot of people, a lot of plates to balance. It can be a stressful seat to sit in.
Yeah, of course. Multiple. I do like a drink.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm an alcoholic, but on a Friday, I definitely like to have a beer and unwind. It's like I've got a date night this Friday.
Nice, where are you going?
Yeah, just up to the Larder House in Southbourne.
Okay.
And then I think we're going to fly down to the Thomas Trip and just watch a band and have a drink.
You got a babysitter?
Yeah, my mum's got Maya, so yeah, we're happy, really looking forward to that. Actually, I've mentioned it a few too many times, so it must be needed. Looking forward to that. Yeah, I like a drink.
What's your favourite drink? You like a Kraken, don't you?
Oh, I love a Kraken. Yeah, spiced rum and Coke. It's got to be the right amount of rum, which is pretty much the whole glass. Spiced rum, splash of lime, ice, splash Coke.
Nice.
Brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah. So a bit of alcohol. Take the edge off.
Bit of friend time, bit of wife and Maya time. Like I said, if I'm in the summer, if I've got having a tough day, I must admit that last summer I took myself off for a couple of hours in the afternoon and just went and played 6 hours just by myself, headphones in, making a few calls, just sort of relaxes me, So yeah, I'm one for my own time. It sounds really selfish, but you know what? I said to the missus the other day, I said to Kay, I go, I'm just gonna shoot off to the pub for a pint. She's like, who are you going with? And I'm just like, well, I'll just go by myself. Quite happily sit there, go through my emails, and
yeah, nice.
Yeah.
You got any other routines or or habits that you think that have helped you be successful that you do on a daily basis?
I think my good thing about the business is that I get up and go. So I wake up, check my emails, check the bank, go to the office as early as I can, get my shit together, and I'm clear. And I think that's I'd recommend it, but some people just can't do really early mornings. But I've just always just been like that. And then anything that's thrown at me, I can sort of like a surprise, and I can deal with it. Yeah,
nice. I like that a lot. I've heard that a couple of times. I tried to do a similar thing, right? Set up my day really nice and early, clear my head, look at the bank. The interesting looking at the bank is like a habit. I was chatting.
I look at it and I don't realise I'm doing it, and I think I just looked at the bank. I don't even know what's in it.
You got your eye on the detail when it comes to finances a lot.
Yeah,
Obviously, you are looking at the bank every day from a cash perspective. But
Yeah, I run my own cash flow, and I run it sort of like alongside current accountant Ralph, and so we've got something to both look at. I mean, yeah, it's sad, but I pretty much know what's going in and out and when.
Okay, let's go through a couple of quick fire questions then. So I'm going to start with my first three. So I want 3 of your best bits of advice for a brand new business owner.
Brand new business owner. Don't get overexcited and grow too quickly. Make sure, if you are going into the realms of recruitment, make sure you're anal about it and make sure you recruit the right people and look after your money.
Okay, nice. Favourite 3 drinks, in order?
Favourite 3 drinks? Depends on what stage of the night, though. Oh, are we talking alcoholic drinks now? This makes it sound bad. Orange squash, Coca-Cola. I would say it's going to be alcoholic. So I like a nice. I'd start a night with a nice pint of San Miguel, and then I would go on to Kraken and Cokes later on in the night after probably about. I'm not going to say the amount. Kraken and Coke, and then when I'm abroad, I'd like a nice gin and tonic.
Okay, nice. Yeah. Describe an ideal day to me.
An ideal day.
Yeah.
Within the business.
In the business, yeah.
Walk up at 5:30, get my work done up until about 9. Make sure all payments done. Make sure everyone's doing what they're doing. Travel around some sites. This is a summer's day. Travel around some sites. Have a chat with some of the guys, which is something I said I'm going to do more of because I've sort of been lumbered in the office a little bit too much. So I like to get out and see everyone on site. And then at about 3-4 o'clock, just in time to squeeze 18 holes in. Finish up some calls on the phone.
What's your ambition for your handicap? What are you playing off now? 20?
Sorry?
Your handicap. What is it? It's like 20.
What's that? No, I'm off 22. I just want to get down to 18.
Okay.
Shot a hole. You know, it's not really about handicap. It's about how much money I can take off of you.
None so far, innit? Normally we're doubles partners anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
Well,
like Ryan Duff and Tilly. I like taking money off of them. That happens all the time, obviously. They might have something to say about that, but yeah.
Okay, nice. Right. Before my last question, 3 things like destinations or bucket list activities you like to do in your life.
Right, so I've done a parachute jump by myself. So I'd like to do a bungee. I wouldn't like to, but I feel like it's something I have to do. I've obviously done whitewater rafting, thanks to Bizpedia. So bungee jump, and there's that, I can't remember the name of the bridge in New Zealand. So I'd like to go to New Zealand.
Yep.
Say 3.
Yeah, say 3. So bungee jumping in New Zealand.
Yeah.
That can be 1. Okay.
Yeah.
This is like make a wish. I'm going to make this happen for you.
Okay, so, wow, God, I better make it good.
Give me a decade though, okay?
Yeah. You change your boundaries quick. I like to go to Bali, surfing in Bali. I like to have a go at that. And I know I'm going to think of something really good as I walk off this boat, but go around Croatia in this Sunseeker, and I know you can make that happen. So I look forward to it.
Nice one. Look, before I get into my last question, I just want to say really a massive thank you for coming on to the podcast today. I really appreciate it. It was it's been enlightening. I think the hygiene thing is going to live with me for a while. The military background, great, and what a great. I think listening to you, what a great education for being a business owner. Yeah. I never knew about the name of Marisco and where that came from, so that was thanks for sharing.
Irish pirates, that's all right.
Irish pirates, yeah.
It's also seafood in Spanish.
Yeah. So we know you love your family. Obviously, you're a family man, and that you like a little bit of drinks to take a bit of the stress out on a weekend. So date night coming up this Friday. So I hope you have a great time. My last question to you, I like to finish with this on all the podcasts, is Sam Clover. You get a dinner party. You get 3 guests, dead or alive. Who would you like to sit with?
Yeah, difficult one because there's a fair few. I mean, I remember when I was a kid, we used to watch Dirty Sanchez, and they were all crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Is that like Jackass?
Yeah, but the Welsh version, and they're a lot more hardcore.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, so that'd be interesting.
Well, the whole dinner party is going to be in chaos then.
Yeah, exactly that. And I think you've got to have a bit of fun with life. I mean, I could say the, major business owners of this world and all the things. Which would be great,
Sanchez.
But I reckon they are geniuses. I think they're absolutely bloody hilarious. So, and on a light note, and probably have a good drink with them. A few Krakens.
Nice. So is there 3 of them in this?
Oh, I can't remember. I think it's 3 of them. Yeah.
Okay, so just you and Dirty Sanchez, the crew.
Yeah, I don't reckon.
Don't want anyone
I'd probably
else
take
there.
a couple of my pals because we'd have a right old tail up, wouldn't we?
I'll give you all of them. Fair enough.
Yeah, cool.
Right.
But other than that, I don't know. Loads of people. Richard Branson would be happy to go on one of his yachts or over to his island for a chat with him because he's obviously a very interesting fella. So yeah.
Let's just stick with Dirty Sanchez.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah.
It's more
Dirty
interesting,
Sanchez and Kraken.
Yeah,
all right.
Professional.
This has been very professional.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, again, thank you very much for coming on. Really
thanks for
appreciate it.
having me,
And look forward to continuing to work with you. All right.
Yeah, cheers. Thanks for having me. Cheers, guys.
No worries.